Hey guys, how's it going? So I'm putting together this kind of quick take video series. I've gotten some requests as far as what my process is and what I use, so I wanted to share that with you. I am more of an amateur hobbyist detailer, so there's professionals out there that probably go a lot more in depth than I do, but I like to think the techniques and products that I use, it's things that the average person can use in their garage to save some money, work on their own car, and still get pretty good results. So hopefully this is beneficial for some of you guys that want to just spend some time in your garage getting your car looking better. For now, we're going to be working on this 1981 300D I got a few weeks ago. I picked this car up and it has been repainted at some point, but it's a pretty good quality repaint. It doesn't look like it's been really detailed in a while. It's kind of hard to see, but there is some haziness and some water spots and just general fading on the top surfaces of the car. But I think with a little bit of work, this is really gonna pop. It's an awesome color. It's English red, so it looks more orange in person. So the first thing that you wanna do, and this is the not so fun part, but if you spend a little bit of time up front, you're gonna thank yourself later on, is just do some prep on the car. Obviously you wanna start with a clean car, so if the car is very dirty, give it a good wash. If the car is something that you don't drive all the time and it's fairly clean, you may just wanna do a wipe down on it just to make sure that you're working with a clean surface and you're not going to be rubbing any dust or dirt or contaminants into the paint. The next thing that I like to do is just taping off any plastic or rubber surfaces. And that's because you do not want to get polishes or waxes on these surfaces. It leaves a white residue that's very hard to remove. So what I've done is I've gone over the car with this blue painter's tape. I like to use this because it's very easy to remove, doesn't leave a residue, and I've basically taped off all of the rubber and plastic surfaces on the car. That'll make it a lot easier later on when I'm working with the buffer, so that I can just kind of go over it more quickly and I don't have to worry about, again, getting polishes or waxes on these plastic or rubber surfaces. Once I've done the taping off, the next thing I want to do is clay. Now, clay's a lot of work and it's not my favorite part of detailing a car, but it's definitely important, especially if the car's been parked outside, if the car's been neglected, and in the case of this car, I don't really know the history of the last time it was detailed. I'm gonna say it's been a while. As far as clay, and I'm not endorsed by anyone, these are just the products that I use, that I have in my garage. There's a lot of good lines out there, so I would advise you to, do some research. You can feel free to ask me what my preferences are. In this case, I've got the Mother's California Gold Clay Bar Kit, and I've actually used the detailer, but you'll just want to have some type of lubricant. So I've got Great Speed Shine here, and this is when you're working with the clay, basically to lubricate the surface of the vehicle so that the clay glides nicely over it and you're not working on a dry surface and potentially scratching the car. This is the piece of clay that I'll be using right here. I'll do a little bit more as far as the technique once I get into it, but one very important rule when you clay, if you drop this, throw it away. You cannot clean it, you cannot save it. As soon as it hits the ground, it's going to pick up all of the dirt on any surface it falls onto, and you're gonna have to discard it. You don't wanna risk scratching your car, so it's probably good to have a couple of these around just in case you have to sacrifice one. So I'm gonna get started cleaning the car. I'm gonna kind of work front to back, one panel at a time, and then we'll move on to polishing and waxing. So first step, here we go.